Ba-ba-da-bow-bow, Banger Management Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Wow, wow, wow.
Woo!
Woo!
Oh my god.
You know, last time we edited the episode and it started off, Josh is like, and I'm like, why? Because there's a countdown before. And you do like this epic countdown. Like,
yeah, well, that's how they do it in show business. You start counting down, you go 5, 4, and then you stop saying it out loud because it doesn't get it. You go like this, and then you go, and we're on.
Yeah, exactly.
Josh is very familiar with show business.
You know. I'm in the biz.
Okay. Welcome all to Banger Management, the Fantasy Hockey Podcast with Jake, Josh, and Kevin, who is back wearing hockey merchandise.
We are Habs
Whose
fans.
jersey is that?
We are Habs fans, but this is I got daddy on my back. I got you guys,
God.
if you've been listening, if you're an
Horrible.
OG if you're an OG banger, you know daddy is Alexander Barkov. Rest in peace. But
To clarify a few points, Barkov is very much alive and not Kevin's biological father. Okay.
not yet.
I agree. I have to try to talk deeper. I remembered that I was telling Eva, my wife, that everyone in the Discord thought you guys were going to be giants, and the same thought was not shared with me. And she was like, "It's probably because they have really deep voices." And I was like, "What are you trying to say?" so I'm going to talk like this episode.
Oh, John, I think you just grew an extra foot.
Kevin, I am your father.
Barkov?
Also,
Alright.
I was going to say, I figured out why Kevin is cursed this year. It's
Wait,
because
why? You didn't
Barkov's
tell
out for
me?
the season.
Honestly, that
I
Then
solved
maybe
it.
it-
That's why you have this injury curse on you, is because Barkov is your literal biological father, and he is out for the season, and so your entire team is cursed.
what? How do we fix this? Maybe me wearing the jersey actually fixes this. Like, showing I represent. I don't know. Anyways,
Anyways, let's dive in.
I love our theories and analysis.
Please don't
Today,
take my
we are
guns.
doing our Week 6 Buy Low Sell High episode. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. Rate us 5 stars if you like what you hear. We are on YouTube. Very, very exciting. Now you can see our very tall faces and Josh.
every episode is going to be on YouTube now. So if you're listening to the podcast and you
Yes.
like also having like the video content, watch both if you're really into it, or choose one or the other. But
Yeah.
watch both.
The link to all of our socials, as well as the Discord where everyone thinks Kevin and I are super tall, is in the podcast description. So check that out. Let's start with our update from 2 weeks ago, our buy low, sell high selections.
I like to call it our "Where Are They Now?" You know, I like at the end of like 2000 movies that are like, they
Where
ended
are
up getting
they
married and
now
lived happily ever
that I
after.
need
This
you?
guy went to jail, you know? I'm thinking of like the Legally Blonde, you know, like at the end. Or it's like, anyways, so this is Where Are They Now from 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, we recommended Evan Bouchard as a buy low. Since then, he's played 7 games, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points, multiple defensive blunders, but that doesn't matter for fantasy. So this is a huge win if you pulled it off, and I would say the window is firmly shut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Bouchard was like a glaring buy low at the time. Like, it's only been 2 weeks, but already we saw like he's bounced back tremendously. So, yeah, that was a great pick.
Yeah.
Not as good as this
All
next
right.
one, though.
Yeah, next we had Andrei Vasilevsky as a buy low. Since then, 5 games, 4 wins, 2.02 goals against average, 0.92 save percentage. Do you guys know how much of a pain it is when we put goalies and I have to calculate the thing over, like, I pull out my calculator on my phone and I'm like, okay, number of saves divided by total number of
Yeah.
shots. And anyways, it's fine. I do it for the viewers and I'm happy to do it. This was a clear win. And again, the window is closed. So a lot of these are, like by the time we say the buy low a week later, honestly, sometimes the window is closed. So you got to act fast.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we had Robert Thomas, 4 games played since then because he had an injury over that period. 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. I'd say that window is still open, and I still like it as a buy low.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's he's the one who's popped off the least, but there's a lot of potential. I mean, with the injury, you just can't
and the
predict that,
injury
of course.
also. Yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
St. Louis has just been bad overall. So as they stop being this bad, still probably remain bad. they'll still be better than what they are. So Thomas is the catalyst for this team.
Exactly.
Sell highs. So we had Spencer Knight. Okay, when I calculated this, I did it before last night's shutout, so bear that in mind. But other than the shutout he had last night, 4 games played, 2 wins, 3.48 goals against average, .893 save percentage. Obviously, overall, it'll look a little nicer now with that big shutout he had last night. I think you can still sell him high. I think you still should sell him high. I do think Chicago's a fun team this year, but it just still does not make sense to me that they're kind of like in a similar spot to San Jose, right? Where Bedard and Macklin are both killing it, but it's not enough to turn a garbage team into an amazing team. It could turn them into a mid team, but still a goalie that I'd love to sell for a more, kind of solid deal. Someone who's like more set.
We're not talking about Spencer Knight on this episode because we mentioned his name in the past, but like his last 2, he's still absolutely the highest goalie sell high. So if you own Spencer Knight, like you have to try to trade him right now. His last 2 games, he played Vancouver. He got 43 out of 45 saves, won the game, got a 956. Playing me this week, funny enough. And then last game, he played Calgary. They won 4-0, and he had a 33 save shutout. So those 2 games are against me in this current matchup, which is
and also keep in mind those opponents, right? Vancouver and Calgary, like that's not very scary opponents.
Yeah, I mean,
Jakey could probably lace him up again and get a shutout against Calgary.
That'd be cool. But the thing with him, high draft pedigree. So like really, his career has taken.
He's a good goalie.
Yeah, he was just like, it was a victim of circumstance in Florida. He was not what he's going to be in his career. That being said, Chicago's not good enough to sustain this. So that's why we're recommending a sell high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then we had Adrian Kempe. Since then, 7 games played, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points, 2.7 shots, 1.6 hits. The reason I mention that is because at the time when we recommended him, or on the season, he's at 3.1 shots and 2.3 hits. Kevin specifically said his shots and hits are going to slow down, and the points will slow down as well. But one of the big reasons he was such a sell high was because of the category coverage. And look, what he's doing now, he also said that he's not going to become a bad player. He's still an elite player, but you could have and possibly still can sell him for one of the top assets. So still a sell high.
Yeah, he was at like over 1.5 points per game, and he was averaging over 3 shots and over 3 hits. Like that was just like completely unsustainable, and one of the reasons why you were trying to trade him for like a first 2-round pick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And lastly, we had Jakey's sell high, which was Matthew Schaefer. Since then, 6 games played, 3 goals, 1 assist, 4 points. Still a sell high. I think he just, you can aim even higher now. Look, it's a lot of these guys, when we say sell high, it doesn't mean they're going to drop off and become a terrible player. It just means that they're kind of at their ceiling. And, I kind of view it as like parabolas, right? You have a player and like when he's a sell high, he's at the top of his parabola. And if you can catch a buy low on the bottom of his parabola, you kind of like leapfrog and then you make it all the way to another level that you couldn't reach otherwise. So that's kind of how my math mind works. But yeah, another great one.
So it's good that you isolated these stats, right? Because in the past 2 weeks, he's been 4 points in 6 games. At the time, it was a point per game. So I even mentioned in my blurb when I was talking about it that even if you get 50 points out of him in his rookie season, that's fantastic. The deployment's there. Like, this is not a drop. This is a sell high. With the first overall pedigree, you can really get a lot still. So it's a really good player to get because he's probably at like 0.8, 0.85 on the season. I definitely think you could still aim high with him.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we did our Where Are They Now, let's dive into our buy lows from this current week. So I'll start with mine, and you guys feel free to call me out if you think I'm biased because he's on my team, but I genuinely think you can get this guy for pennies right now, and it can be a very good deal. My choice for this week's buy low is Seth Jones of the Florida Panthers. He is averaging 0.43 points per game, 0.21 power play points, 1.4 shots, 1.1 hits, 1.1 blocks on the season. He's been a massive disappointment to anyone who drafted him, myself included, not meeting the points or backhats expectations that he was drafted for. His value is at an all-time low, and that's why this is a great chance to grab him. He's averaging 23 minutes of time on ice per game and 4 minutes of power play time on ice per game, ranked 4th most among all defensemen. Despite all the different iterations of the Florida power play, he's always been on it, other than one game where Jeff Petrie had it. Lol. So despite their struggles, he's still a lock on that unit. Florida currently has the 18th best power play in the league, and even though it'll take a while, Matthew Tkachuk is coming back at some point and going to boost this team's even strength and power play production. And I like thinking far in advance with stuff like this because when he's right on the horizon, the owner's going to know that. But when it's this far in advance, it's kind of out of people's mind. I don't expect him to start turning it up immediately, but I think you can grab him for a hot D that you just grabbed from the waiver wire. So when the price is this low for a power play 1D on a team that should be great, it feels like a huge opportunity. And so some targets that I'm looking at are Brock Faber, Justin Falk, or even maybe Brant Clark. I feel like the most likely one of these is Brock Faber, and I think I would do that flip easily.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, would you do Schaefer?
No, I'd rather Schaefer at this point.
You'd rather Schaefer? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really about like just grabbing him for pennies. It's not that I think he's that amazing. It's just I think his value is just so much lower right now than what it should be.
Yeah.
There's undoubtedly better days ahead for Seth Jones. And like you said, I think Florida has gone through a rough period and they're dealing with a lot of injuries and a lot of instability in the lineup. And I think, first of all, Tkachuk coming back adds superstar power to this team. And no doubt will make the power play better and just the team better. And I think Seth Jones will really thrive in fantasy when Florida is like shooting on all cylinders, all possible cylinders with whatever's possible for them this season. So I like this as a buy low. I will say that like Josh said, like you got to make sure you're not buying for more than he's currently worth, because there's probably still going to be rough days ahead in the near future as Florida's figuring it out. But if you can get him for a guy you picked up off waivers that became hot, like that's an exceptional trade.
Yeah, it's about like it's the long game with this one. It's gonna hurt for a bit, and it also depends where your team's at, right? If you feel like you have the luxury to hold a guy who's not going to put up production for a few more weeks, maybe, then I think that's the right time to do it. If your team's struggling, then maybe you don't do this move. But I think in the long term, it's going to pay off.
Yep.
Yeah, and the deployment is good, as you mentioned, and what's questionable here is why is he not getting better back categories? That's what's really encouraging, that he's done that. He has a huge sample size in his career. You know, he's 31, so you know that he's capable of it, and the points are going to be the rocky part, but I expect the back categories to even out sooner than later to what we're used to.
Can I ask a question though? Because if you drafted Seth Jones...
Sorry.
I would like to ask a question, please.
Yes, you in front.
You in the front, in the daddy jersey. If you own Seth Jones, you've either already dropped him, and if you haven't dropped him thus far, you're probably holding out for the better days ahead, right? So put yourself in the shoes of the owner.
Done.
You are. Yeah. You are the owner. Would you trade him for a guy that just got picked up off waivers? If you saw somebody else just pick up Justin Falk or Brock Faber and then try to send you an offer for him, like you kind of feel not insulted, but you're like, I know you're trying to pull a fast one on me type of thing. You know what I mean? So who's the best player that like is not a waiver wire guy that you would trade for Seth Jones? Like I'm trying to find some names for you, but would you trade?
Well, first of all, of the waiver wire guys, I think Faber can actually get done. Maybe Clark probably not, and then Falk probably not. Like if I'm being honest, maybe that was too low, but I think it's worth a try because it is frustrating having Jones right now. So I could see the owner just being like, "Oh, I'll take anyone of value," and maybe they believe in the Falk power play one, St. Louis resurgence, whatever. You know, Faber I think is actually doable because I think he's got some potential at being a season long hold. So, but yeah, give me some names and of like rostered guys.
Trouba.
That's a very big archetype thing, right? I mean, Jones is definitely going to get more points than Trouba, even though I'm sure Trouba somehow has more right now.
Trouba does.
Yeah, but no, Jones will definitely have more points and way more power play points. But I mean, sorry, Jones will have way more points and power play points, but Trouba will have the back cat, so it's really what your team is looking for. But I would take Jones. Burns to me is a drop, so I would
he's a drop.
Take,
Thomas
Jones.
Harley.
No, come on.
That's tough, especially with Miro Heiskanen's 4 assists game. I feel like the chances of Harley taking power play 1 are slipping away, and I'd rather a power play 1. I think you can get Jones plus for Harley, and I think I'd like that.
Nikishin.
No, Nikishin.
Jake, you're going too low.
Yeah.
There's no way Nikishin. Like I have Nikishin.
I would take. I think you can
Jones.
get Jones plus for Nikishin, and I would do that as well.
You don't think
Dobson?
you could give Letang?
No, Letang's not even power play 1. He's doing nothing.
No.
Okay.
I mean, the fact is, like, with all these kind of like power play 2 defensemen, they're all doing better than Jones now, but I'd take the power play 1 guy over the power play 2 guy.
Do you think you could trade Morgan Riley for Seth Jones in most leagues? Not in our league of record?
I think you should definitely try if you can.
Okay. Jackson Lacombe?
No, I'd take Lacombe over Jones at this point.
Okay.
Even though like
Vince Dunn?
he seems to be like dodging every goal in those like touchdowns that the Anaheim are doing. Like eventually they're going to start touching his stick. So no, I like Lacombe better. I think I would take Jones over Vince Dunn.
Okay, what about last one? Luke Hughes, now that Dougie's hurt.
So hoping the Dougie injury is not long-term. They said at least a week, but might only be a week. Assuming that Dougie's not like out long-term, I'd rather have Jones to Hughes. I think Hughes does nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Theodore, I think, is another good name to put out there.
That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I could have put some more realistic ones that, because maybe the ones I was saying, I just think you can get Jones for very cheap right now.
Yeah. But all these guys obviously are either have their own question marks, have also not been producing, but are maybe producing slightly better than Jones.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. So I think those are all good names.
Yeah. All right, Kevin, who you got?
All right. My pick is probably my second favorite two-way forward in the league. It is Daddy's assistant, Nico Hischier. I say assistant just because like they're kind of like the same archetype of player.
Yeah.
Anyways, in the last
They're
2
not
weeks,
on the same team or from the same country. What?
it's archetype assistant, okay?
Assistant in being
Assistant-
Kevin's favorite.
Assistant to the daddy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the Dwight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Anyways, in the last 2 weeks, Hischier has 2 points only. He's often considered in the trio of New Jersey's best assets. It's him, it's Hughes, it's Bratt. But lately, he's kind of been like the clear worst of the three. No power play points in the last 2 weeks. Over the last month, he's only at 0.2 power play points. For context, last season, he was at 0.4 power play points. His shots have also decreased a lot. If you look at his game log, you're seeing a lot of zeros across the board in points, in shots. If you're in a non-face-off wins league, like he doesn't look like a guy that you currently want on your team. You look at the game log, it kind of puts you in a depressed state. I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody who owns Hischier recently. Like, you might look at the stats on average. He's at like 0.8 on the season. Like, it doesn't look too bad. But recently, the games have really been underwhelming. And especially when you're seeing other guys on this team do well, it kind of puts a damper on the mood. I know, like, in the Discord, people have been talking, like, you know, in more shallower leagues, you're only starting 2 centers on a daily basis. I feel like Hischier is oftentimes the odd man out of that. You know, the 2 guys you're starting on your roster. Usually his shooting percentage last season was at 18.7%. His average hovers around 13 to 14%. He's currently at 11. So it already shows that there's, first of all, positive regression and room to grow. The Devils, in my opinion, are a true title contender this year. Like, if they're all healthy, like, they have all the means to be a team that can win the Stanley Cup. And he's exposed to some of the best talent in the league. You're never worried about his deployment. He's a true two-way forward. He's the 1C on this team. He's playing the PK. He's playing the power play. He's the 1C. I mean, I guess you can consider potentially Jack Hughes the 1C, but I don't consider Jack Hughes still a center. Like, it just doesn't feel like he's a center.
He definitely gives more winger vibes.
he definitely gives more winger vibes. But you're never worried about his deployment, and his stats don't look awful on average. Like, he still might be kind of highly ranked in your league. I know in our league he's like ranked 73rd, which is like not bad for where you drafted him. It doesn't scream buy low, but if you own Hischier, you don't feel good recently. Like, these last 2 weeks have been rough. And I'm always trying to look for buy lows, first of all, on a multiple week sample size. Like, if a guy has 2 bad games, you're not like, all right, he's a buy low. Like,
Yeah.
that happens to anybody. But when it's been like at least 2 weeks or even longer, that's when like the alarm should be sounding and there's an opportunity to buy the player here. I'm not worried about Hischier finishing the year strong with the Devils. And the Devils also have a great playoff schedule. So there's an opportunity there to take advantage and get better games for your team. I think he's available for cheaper than he should be right now, and that's why he's my buy low. I'm trying to do cross position. I think if you can do Konechny for Hischier 1-for-1. Like, also, I always think like 1-for-1 trades almost never work, because when you want to trade, you want there to be some sort of ambiguity. You want to kind of give and receive, right? Like, it's like, okay, you wanted to make a balanced trade. You're not trying to swindle your opponents. Like, that's not how trading should work when you're trying to pull off good trades. So 1-for-1, there's always going to be a clear winner at the end of the day. You're going to see who ended up getting more points, who ended up getting more of the statistical categories. If it's a 2-for-2, you're like, all right, maybe I got some here, but I lost some here.
Yeah.
It averages out, right? So always trying to do a 2-for-2. But if I had to give some 1-for-1 names, I think Konechny is doable. I think Malkin, who is still an extremely sell high. Do not buy high on Malkin. Please do not buy high on Malkin. But sell him for Nico Hischier. I think Velarde is doable right now. I think Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who was a sell high on our previous episode, I think he's very doable right now. I think Brian Rust has been on fire. Like, the Penguins have been on fire. I think he's very doable right now, 1-for-1 for Nico Hischier.
Yeah, I love all this.
Do you feel this strongly about him in a non-face-off wins league?
Yes. I think he's the type of guy that, like, his floor is going to be like 0.9-ish points per game. with the upside to be even higher, especially that the Devils, I think, are better this year than they were last year.
And the power play points.
And the power play points. Like, he has room to grow in the power play points. Like I said, he's averaging 0.2. If that's 0.4, that's an extra 0.2 points per game. He'd be at a point per game right now.
Yeah. And the Devils have one of the best power plays in the league. And Hischier's locked onto that spot.
Absolutely.
So I feel like right now, it obviously runs through Hughes and Bratt, right? Like it feels like the two of them are in on every single power play point. But first of all, that always leaves someone else to get, a secondary assist or the goal or whatever. And we'll talk about coming up someone who's a sell high who seems to be getting all those power play points who they should be going to Hischier instead. So my favorite of these targets you put is Malkin, because I think that
he's the one I want to get off my roster the most.
He's the one I'd want to get off my roster the most. Maybe, no, I'd probably take Malkin over Nuge at this. I don't know. But anyways, he's one of the ones I want to get off my roster the most, and he's doing the best possibly out of any of these guys. So I think it might be the most achievable, and I think it would be the best one. It's also same position, which I find easier to do because oftentimes people don't want to get rid of one position for another. So yeah, that's my favorite of the targets. I think they're all great, and I think he's a great buy low. I would try in our league, but I feel like it's just no one trades in our league. So
yeah, and the other thing is that he's getting huge minutes, not shooting a lot, so that's going to turn up a lot as far as the minutes go, because there's no reason to stop playing him a lot if they're winning games, right? So that's when like the intersection between in real life and fantasy comes into play. There are some guys with huge minutes that don't do anything. Right now, he's really not doing much, but he should get at least one, like plus one shot on goal per game compared to what he's doing right now. And with that will just come more reduction, whether it's assists or goals. But I will say, in a non-face-off wins league, it's a question to me, Konechny, Vilardi, or Hischier. But the rest, I agree. Malkin, RNH, and Rust, I'm taking Hischier over those, no matter the league format. But Konechny, I think, is pretty good.
I mean, I tried to give one name that's like more realistic than the others. Like the other guys are like, on a regular basis, if they weren't performing this hot, you wouldn't be able to sell them for Hischier. So I think Konechny is fair value for the cross position a little bit. I still rather have Hischier. Hischier probably went ahead in your fantasy leagues as well.
Yeah.
But these other guys, I feel like the four names I listed, Malkin, Vilardi, Nuge, and Rust, are all like slam dunk big wins if you're able to pull those off.
Yeah, I agree. Vilardi, I guess I'm with you, but Konechny is the question mark. That being said, it's a safer bet.
So many nickels in the jar.
What do we call it, Josh? Can you say this?
The majority.
I can't believe the majority is gonna stick.
You know that meme of like what's his name? Gordon Ramsay with like the woman with like the things around her head, and it's like, what are you? And she's like, an idiot sandwich.
Yes.
Say the line, majority.
Oh my god!
And shout out to Camino in the Discord who made a picture of the majority.
Yeah, that would be sick if we just keep adding nickels.
Yeah, we need to keep adding to that.
That's hilarious. Okay, let's move on to my buy low. In keeping with the Florida Panthers theme that Josh started and Kevin continued with his jersey.
Yeah, nice. that wasn't even planned. What are the odds?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's we finished
50-50. It's one of your two jerseys.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Sam Reinhart for my buy low. Without a doubt, it's been a real disappointment compared to where you drafted him. The Panthers have scored the 4th least goals in the league at the time of this recording. And while they're certainly not a juggernaut this year compared to where they have been in years past, they're a championship team that's highly likely going to make the playoffs. And considering they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot as opposed to, just being coasting towards the end of the year, I think that it's a very encouraging thing for Reinhardt's production. And yeah, I have very little doubt that Reinhardt's going to get 70 points this year. And while the goals have been pretty great as always, what's really lacking is his assists. He's on pace this year, get this, for 41 goals and 5 assists, which we call a Dorofeev special around these parts. Yeah, and it's going to be goals, but I think that he's definitely going to get more than 46 points on the year. And this is probably what his lowest value is going to be for the foreseeable future. I also think that because Florida has all these injuries right now, you can get them in a very you can buy Reinhart at a very reasonable discount, because when Tkachuk comes back and they're firing all cylinders, this is going to be a winning team, and Reinhart being the best offensive player on this team, as far as points goes, he's been right up there with Tkachuk and Barkov in years past. Reinhart's going to be the main beneficiary of that. So I have some good 1-for-1 targets. I think you're gonna think I'm pretty crazy on 2 of them, but if you look at how things have unfolded so far, it seems fair. Cutter Gauthier, who's an absolute monster. Okay, John Tavares, especially in a non-face-off wins league. Ivan Demidov, and cross-position Josh Morrissey, who's been fantastic.
This is a really interesting one. First of all, I'd like to take a lot of your stats and apply that to my Seth Jones one. So refer to this also when saying why Seth Jones is a buy low. I like this stuff you're saying. I like the 4th least goals in the league and all that fun stuff. So me too. In terms of the targets, it's really interesting because it's like, how do we feel, right? Like, because yes, Panthers are going to get back everyone except for a very big name, which is Barkov, right? And Reinhart. Yeah, and Reinhart is like the biggest Barkov pal, right? Like they've been stapled to each other, line 1, power play 1, like for the past couple of years. And so it'll be, I don't think you can expect the Reinhart of season past. I think that's pretty clear. I think everyone agrees on that. But he should definitely be better than he is now. I fully agree on the buy low. So first of all, Demidov, I would easily take Reinhart. I don't think anyone would take that, but maybe if you're in a league with Habs fans, they might buy into the hype. So that's an easy one for me. Morrissey, yeah, I think I'd probably still take Reinhart, even though he's been kind of crazy.
He's super hot right now, too.
Yeah, he's been really hot right now, so I like that one as well. Tavares, I think it's like you said with the non-face-off wins, I'd go Reinhart as well. And Gautier's just been crazy hot. Like it's been to the point where I was honestly scared to put him as a sell high because I was like at this point, like, what is he gonna? You know, he's not gonna keep this up, but like, it's just crazy what he's doing. So wild. that might be an ultimate buy low, sell high. It's just that like if I have Gauthier on my roster, I'm like, I feel like I can aim even higher, which seems kind of crazy.
Yeah. I know.
Can, I think.
Yeah, you can, but I think the smart thing to do is to still get Reinhart back.
Right? You could probably get Reinhart plus.
Yeah,
which is bleeped.
Yeah, that is. If you told anyone that before the season started, you'd be like, who?
yeah, exactly. No, so the reason I said Demidov, who I know, I feel like this is a paradox of us trying to be non-homers, but Demidov right now on the season, Reinhart has 8 points in 14 games at the time of this recording. Demidov has 12 points in 14 games. So realistically, like that's a lot better, and he's been really good. So
he has like
flashy
no
name, of course,
coverage. I feel like, but
correct.
But no, I mean the flashy name with the points, and he has the deployment now. If you can pull it off, I think it's great.
Yeah, exactly.
My favorite out of these is Tavares.
Yeah.
I think if you can flip Tavares for Reinhart in a 1-for-1, that'd be great. I'd even try to make it like a 2-for-2 or something.
Yeah. Would you do Morrissey, Kevin? If you had Morrissey, would you do it?
I think
Morrissey's
they're like
a monster.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like if I need defensemen, I'm not giving Morrissey. Obviously, like, I'm not trying to trade away defensemen if I need defensemen, but I think that's close to fair value given the positional difference for what my expectations are. So honestly, I think it's close. I think 1-for-1 is a fair value. It just feels bad because Morrissey's on one of the best power plays, and he started off slow. Like he was a buy low to start. Now he's kind of like up and running. So it feels scarier to sell him away. But I think Reinhart, like he was drafted in the second round of most leagues for a reason. So
yeah,
yep.
Okay, let's get into our sell highs for the week. So my sell high this week, alluded to earlier, is Dawson Mercer of the New Jersey Devils. Mercer's averaging a point per game, 0.29 power play points, 0.14 shorthanded points, 1.8 shots and 1.2 blocks. He has 8 goals on 25 shots this season. That's a shooting percentage of 32%. To give you an idea, his career average is 14.8%. That's over double his career average shooting percentage. This is one of the most unsustainable things I've ever seen. Because I knew he was doing great in points, but then when I looked at how little he shoots and how much he's been scoring, I'm like, this is such a no-brainer sell high. His shorthanded points are also nuts, and that's not going to last. They'll put up shorthanded points, but not at this rate. And in any league that counts shorthanded points, if you look at like the ranking on like Yahoo or whatever app you use, it boosts their ranking so high that it makes them look even better than they actually are. Like a guy gets 1 shorthanded point, and he gets boosted like 100 spots in the rankings because it's such a rare category to hit. So his rankings are going to look really nice. He's bouncing between line 2 winger and line 3 center, and is only on power play 1 every second game. Keefe has this genius idea of having 2 2 versions of his power play 1, and Mercer's on one of those versions, but not both. So overall, he's getting points at an unsustainable pace, especially his goals. His deployment is questionable at best, and he doesn't offer much in terms of backhats. This is one of the clearest sell highs I've seen in a long time. The only part I'm not sure about with this is my targets. I think that this is such an obvious sell high, but I'm not sure if I went too high with my targets or if you think these are actually attainable. So, guys, I'm looking at Elias Pettersson, Braden Point, Mika Zibanejad, Robert Thomas. I feel like I may have gone too high with these guys, but maybe you can do Mercer plus for these guys. I don't know what you guys think.
If you have some people are real Mercer believers out there. Like, people think that he's a stud. So if you fall on a guy that has one of these targets and you have Mercer, like, that's, take advantage of that. I think Point, you could do Mercer plus for Point. I would not shy away from doing that. Yeah. 1-for-1 for Pettersson and Zibanejad, 100%. I think if the Rangers get going, Zibanejad will be good. I like all these targets, honestly. I don't think you aim too high. Like, Mercer has somewhat some like name value right now. Yeah. And he's producing at a crazy rate. It just might take like a little plus to balance out the stink of him being a previously waiver wire guy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
But Robert Thomas, I think you could do a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
That's almost my least favorite of the targets, if I'm being real.
Yeah,
the Blues don't have the best playoff schedule. They look like a mess. Like, it feels like a big gamble where, like, Robert Thomas probably ends up being better than Mercer, but I'd rather use Mercer to get a better target, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's fair. I'm comfortable saying Thomas will definitely be better than Mercer, but I also don't love the playoff schedule. And if you think you could do better, you always want to maximize your value. So I agree with that.
For sure. These all make sense to me, actually. It's going to have to be a little plus here and there. And Mercer's not going to be as bad as he's been. He's had like a
he's becoming a real player.
Yeah, he was amazing, horrible, and now he's going to be solid. And when like there's an invention, either IRL or in hockey or in fantasy or whatever, and like it sticks, like now 4 forwards on a line or the backup camera in a car. This Sheldon Keefe situation is not a thing. No, it's a disaster. So if they settle on a big power play 1, sure, great. But for now, like it's just too risky, the whole situation. So
you got to capitalize.
Yeah, for sure.
We're trying to cover every position here. So talking about goalies now. Now listen, I preface this by saying we're not going to talk about Spencer Knight today because we did that already. We did that already. He was on previous episodes. He is still the top sell high for goalies. Now, the second name, I think, right now is this boy right here. Jakey's GOAT. Logan Thompson of the Washington Capitals.
He is my GOAT.
Yeah, he is your GOAT. Anyways, Thompson is currently tied for 3rd most wins this season with a bunch of other players. So there's a lot of guys at 6 wins. But he is currently tied for 3rd most wins. On the season, he has a 1.45 goals against average and a 0.938 save percentage. Elite numbers. For context, last season he was at 2.5 goals against average and a 0.910 save percentage. So you can see the stark differences in between those numbers. Thompson is also 3rd in saves above expected at 10.5 on the season, only behind Knight, who is top with 13.3, and Hellebuck, who's at 11.9 saves above expected on the season. So he won't be able to keep these numbers up, and it's a great opportunity to sell because you're taking not only just a great goalie and selling him as if he was an excellent goalie. I find personally situations like this are easier to make a move because it's not like you're picking up like an Arthur Shilovs and he has an amazing 2-week stretch and you're like, all right, you picked up this guy off goalies and you're trying to sell him for like a Vasilevsky. You know what I mean? You're already taking a guy that's cemented as a good to great goalie who's had an excellent stretch. So you can sell him as an excellent goalie. Like, there's more foundation under him to prove that he is quality and not just flash in the pan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I find these are situations that you really have to take advantage of because he's a great goalie, really overperforming. If you're comparing the stats for the season, he's better than everyone not named Spencer Knight, who's still the ultimate sell high. But don't get me wrong. I don't want to force him off my roster. I just think that now you have an amazing opportunity to tier up into a long-term upgrade. And the best way to do this, in my opinion, is a 2-for-2. Like, do a Logan Thompson plus another goalie where you're quote-unquote upgrading long-term, but it seems like an upgrade for your opponent. And then you also get like a skater upgrade on the side. Like, I think that would be, like, if you were trading Thompson plus Konechny for Vasilevsky and Hischier type of thing. You know what I mean? I think like that's like a trade that is probably feasible right now, and I would love to do that. But if you had to give me some 1-for-1 names that I think are potentially possible, like I said, always difficult when it's a 1-for-1 trade. But I think Ottinger is a great target right now. If you can flip Thompson for Ottinger in a package, let's say you do a 2-for-1, I would flying colors you pass. Vasilevsky as well. I know he's hotter as of right now, but I think Logan Thompson is even hotter. So in a package, you could potentially make that work. Shesterkin, the Rangers are potentially about to turn this around. He's still putting up great numbers. The wins just aren't always there. So I think Thompson more maybe consistent, and maybe the Shesterkin owner is a little annoyed by that. And I think Blackwood is the ultimate, like right now you're buy low, sell high. Like Blackwood has yet to put up an amazing performance. He's played 1 game since coming back from the injury. Wedgwood has started, I think, 2 games since he came back from the injury. So he hasn't really cemented himself as the clear 1A yet. If you believe in Blackwood, I think you can do Logan Thompson for Blackwood 1-for-1.
Yeah.
You could even get maybe Blackwood plus.
So what I really like about what you said is the package in the 2-for-2, because if you give Thompson plus a player for one of these guys plus another player, that is by far the best way to structure things.
Yeah.
Because it's a different situation. He was splitting with Lindgren last year, which sucked, and now he's getting 2-1, 2-1. So obviously these goals against average and percentages are far from sustainable, which is why this is such a great pick for a sell high. That being said, they're gonna want to continue this because Thompson was not ready for the playoffs last year. You need to give a goalie more than just a 50-50, I think, to be a good playoff team, and that's what they're aiming for. So the way I see your targets is that you can give a slightly better player. Sorry, like you could give the player, and you want the player you're getting back in addition to the goalie to be better than the player you're giving. But the Blackwood discrepancy is massive. That's where I'm like, you can really give, like if you do Thompson and Mercer for Blackwood and Pettersson as an example, like that to me is great. That's where it is. Because at this
Blackwood
point,
I would love that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I really, really think that this is like a fantastic opportunity to level up because Thompson's a great goalie. Mm-hmm. It's just what you can now get for it, which is way above where you drafted him.
Yeah, I fully agree with everything. I mean, I don't know what it's going to take, but I'm still not a Washington believer.
Yeah.
And Thompson's numbers are just absurd right now. So if you can get one of those, and also the 2-1-2-1, it's better than the 50-50, but some of these guys like Ottinger, Vasilevsky, Shesterkin, they're getting like every start other than back-to-backs, right? And hopefully Blackwood is the plan. So that's a big upgrade, getting a lot of 12, 15 more starts on the season. If your league has volume categories, that's like huge. So getting the volume while maintaining the quality or even upgrading the quality is really big. So I love this.
Yeah, he's won 6 of their 7 games for Washington. So you're not that crazy to not believe in them because they're losing. They're not top of the Metropolitan Division, which is stacked, but he himself has been so good. Yeah. So even if the team gets better and he gets worse, I see that being a possible regression situation. So yeah, I don't know. It's a great choice.
Yeah. Okay, Jakey, take us home. I can't believe
I don't
want to
do this. This is actually it's actually so painful.
In our league, he's ranked number 1, I think. Right?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
I know, and this is gonna pain me more than any other buy low sell high we've done or that I may ever do on this podcast because
wow,
I love this player. You guys have made fun of me for how much I love him last year, and still going into this year, I think he's fantastic. Leo Carlsson of the Anaheim Ducks. I feel like Benedict Arnold. Actually, like for those of you who don't know, he was a trader during the American Revolution. Yeah. But anyways, this is horrible for me to say, but we're committed to our craft, and I gotta be honest. And while I think the Ducks are going to be absolutely amazing, and I feel extremely vindicated in my choice ranking them as high in the Pacific Division as I did, I just, this is just not it. He has the Ducks have way too many 7-goal games this year, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's hockey, right? It's not football. So, and while I do think that the Ducks are going to be good, they're going to make the playoffs. Like I'm very confident in that. I know that's maybe a little too early to say, but I'm feeling really strongly about them. They're currently sitting at 4.15 goals per game, which is 0.44, almost a half a goal ahead of the next team, which is the Maple Leafs. Okay, 4.15. Keep that number in your head. Last year, Tampa Bay led the league at 3.56, and the year before was the Avalanche at 3.68. So clearly, no, it's not going to keep happening.
Boat going down.
Boat
should come down.
Yeah, boat should certainly come down. And yeah, I know Gauthier has been absolutely incredible, and to me, Gauthier is going to be great for his career, but Carlsson's really the centerpiece on this team. So for the future, things are looking great. But Leo Carlsson, 126 point. That's his point per game pace. 126 points. That's not happening.
Very feasible.
I think he can hit 85, which is fantastic for where you drafted him. But this section, the buy low, sell high, the sell high section is just about upgrading, and that's what it's here for. So I wouldn't be surprised when we do our 2 weeks where are they now that he's still good, but not 126 point pace good, right? So I think you can aim super high here. Some good targets, similar to what Josh mentioned. Braden Point, I think that's sustainable, or that's doable rather. JT Miller, I really think it's possible. Sam Reinhart, my aforementioned buy low, and to be kind of cool about this, Connor Hellebuck. No, you don't think so?
Chance. No chance.
I don't know.
I love the Braden Point. I love the JT Miller, especially in Bangers League. Sam Reinhart,
Yeah.
well, honestly, I feel like I almost rather Leo Carlsson.
Yeah, I was
Is that
gonna say
crazy?
you had me
Okay.
in the first half, but you
Connor
Hellebuck,
Hellebuck, I
lost
feel like
a lot.
the Hellebuck guy will not trade for another, like...
yeah, no, Hellebuck.
Whoever owns
there's no way
Hellebuck
that
usually loves their
happens.
goalies. They're not trading away Hellebuck.
Yeah. Although look, a package, could be interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you could do maybe Logan Thompson and Leo Carlsson for Hellebuck and a solid player.
Yeah,
That could be
Nico
that could
Hischier.
be something interesting. Yeah, there you go. So in a package, sure, but 1-for-1, no chance. And then Reinhardt, I'm honestly like I still think he's a buy low, but like I don't know.
You're
Is
going to
it
be buying
crazy
low, not selling...
Is it crazy to prefer Carlsson
I don't think it's
on the
crazy.
on the
No,
season?
you know what? Honestly, like I get it. You could probably do Reinhardt plus and something
Yeah.
decent. So,
Yeah, I love the JT one.
Yeah.
Honestly, especially obviously you have to have the right categories for in our league. JT Miller was my first round pick, and thank God I offloaded him for McDavid. But no, there's a reason he's a first round pick in a lot of leagues is because if your league has shots, faceoff wins, hits, PIMs, and Rangers have an amazing playoff schedule, so he's a really, really, really good player. He's just really off to a terrible start. So I would definitely take JT over Carlsson, and if you could pull that off, I think that's a perfect buy low, sell high.
Would you
Yeah.
trade Leo Carlsson for Bald Panarin?
Yeah, I would take Panarin.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, he's
Panarin
As
is
long
in
as he's
bald for
bald.
one game, and he's
Yeah.
got 3 points.
As long as he's
I-
bald. If his hair grows back, I'm not interested.
I'm heavily invested in the Rangers bounce back, and I really feel like it's about the pop. And
Yeah.
for our league's sake, I really need to hope for this because or else Josh pulled the biggest trade of the season, trading away JT for McDavid. But
well, it doesn't matter at this point. I made the trade, so if
yeah, you
Rangers
have
pop
McDavid,
off,
so
then it doesn't affect my team.
but
yeah.
yeah.
I just want to say I put Connor Hellebuck because we're 0G guys, and Josh went the highest. What you took? You took Kemper in the eighth round.
Yeah.
That's But the guy who took Hellebuck in your league took him first, worst case second round, and he's probably missing out on a lot of offense right now. And Hellebuck has been not as good as we're used to seeing. So that's why I'm thinking it's ambitious. I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's impossible if there's the right 2-for-2 package that you can
fair.
put. The
But
crux
Carlsson
of
has been
this
that
is
good.
yeah.
I was gonna say put it in context. Like the guy who drafted Hellebuck drafted him in the first round. You probably got Leo Carlsson either off waivers or deep in your league, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't draft Leo Carlsson to be one of your top 2 centers, let's say. He's probably your 3C on your roster, performing like your 1C. Would you trade Leo Carlsson 1-for-1? Maybe you went 0G. Your best goalie was UPL and Joseph Wall, who you drafted. Your name is Kevin. But you're really trying to string together goalies, and you just want to be able to cash in and have a cemented presence there. Would you trade Leo Carlsson 1-for-1 for the goalies that I mentioned, like a Jake Ottinger 1-for-1? Would you do that?
I would take Ottinger for sure.
I feel like that you can. I feel like that's feasible right now.
I have my issues with Ottinger because he burned me in years past. So maybe I'm not the best person to ask.
Yeah, because you just had a kid in the middle of the season. So selfish.
Yeah. There you go. The next guy you mentioned wouldn't do that, though. I would do Leo Carlsson for Vasilevsky, and I would do it for Shesterkin, but I would not do it for Blackwood.
Fair enough.
Depends your situation. I think you can get Blackwood plus for sure.
Yeah, you can get Blackwood plus.
But that's it. You can do that, right? Like Leo. It's because right now you still have a loaded team plus Leo Carlsson, who's been like the most pleasant of surprises, and he's doing so well, and the Ducks are doing so well that you can trade him to upgrade cross position. So
he's a great sell high. He is.
He is. Thank you. Okay. I love this episode. Thank you to everybody for listening to our Week 6 Buy Low, Sell High. If you enjoyed the show, follow us on all of our socials, which is in the link tree in the podcast description. Join the Discord. It's the place to be.
It's popping.
It absolutely is. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there, and we are here to stay. We made reference to this last episode, but Semisonic, Mathieu Olivier, we are staying here, even if they're telling us to go home. It's that song. Everybody knows it. Okay, and subscribe on YouTube. Love saying that. I don't know if I'll ever get tired of saying that. So we're everywhere.
Subscribe to YouTube, but then join the Discord.
They're both new and they're both very exciting, and you should do both.
Actually, I know. One of these episodes, you're just gonna like blurt out, subscribe on YouTube. It doesn't flow as well as join the Discord, but hey. Okay, Ernie, take it away.
Bow, banger management, fantasy hockey podcast. Woo!
Whoa! Wow!
Sorry, I meant to say whoa.
Whoa. Comment 5 stars on YouTube.
Doesn't even do anything.